Welcome. Today we're going to look at sequences, what we call sequences in Unreal Engine 5. Sequences are basically used to create, I guess, what we call cutscenes. They are very powerful, and you can do a hell of a lot with them, including blueprints. You can sort of control things in the level and what have you. There's lots of different things that you can do with them. You'll find them up here. So if we click on here, you'll see we have the option to add a level sequence, add a master sequence. I generally recommend just adding a master sequence, to be honest. They tend to do everything we want to do. So what I'll do, I guess first up, let's just go and add our master sequence, like so. And you'll see we've got our settings here. So we've got a name, suffix. So let's just call it shoot sequence 01, maybe 01. Why not 01? Suffix master, base path. So hang on, let's go and have a look. So we've got game cinematics sequences. We don't really want it there. Game cinematic sequences. That's an interesting place to put it by default. I would suggest putting it under my content. We're going to have to create a new sequences folder there. So before we do that, let's just go back to our content drawer, go back to my content. New folder, and we'll just go sequences, cool. And then come back up to here, add master sequence. Oh, it's kept the name. That's very nice. I like it when things are helpful. And we'll go to my content, sequences, number of shots. So by default, it will put a certain number of shots in there. So sequencer is kind of hierarchical. So you've got like one sort of container object at the top. I'll sort of show you how that works in a second. And then it contains sort of multiple shots, but they can actually be sequences as well. So a shot is something that contains like a camera and other things like that. A sequence, is like an entire collection of shots again. So it's hierarchical in that way. And you can have multiple sequences within a particular sequence. So number of shots 5 by default. We'll probably leave it there. That's fine. If you want to duplicate a sequence, you can say that. Subsequence names, nah, that's fine. We don't really need any of that. Default start time 0, cool, and default duration 5 seconds by default. Now it depends what default duration you want for your shots. 5 seconds is okay. Yeah, that's fine. What do we got here? Now, one of the things here to remember, this was put together really in mind with the film industry, to work with the film industry. So the naming conventions fit with what we get in the film industry. And some of these things might actually seem a little bit unusual coming from games. But if something seems kind of odd, it's quite likely that it's something that's come from the film industry. And so this includes things like we've got here. So we've got shots. Shot prefix is shot. So it's going to be in this directory. First shot number is 10 or 1, whatever you want to call it. So 1, 0. And then shot increment is going to be 10. So, and then we're going to have number of digits 4. So the number of shots will be, the first shot will be 1010. We can change that if we want to. It's not intuitive, I think, from a game design point of view, but it's kind of, because Unreal does it this way, it's kind of easier just to let it do its thing. You can maybe change it yourself if you want to. So we've got take number of digits 2. What else have we got down here? So we've got some track settings. We don't really need these FBX settings, etc. So that's kind of all we need. Let's just go create a master sequence. Bang. And then we get the sequencer editor down the bottom here. And you can see we've got our shots, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots here. So we've just got one track here. So this is our shot track. And you'll notice we can add tracks. And in fact, if we take a shot and we want to drag it, we can drag it down and we get a second track here. That can be kind of useful if you've got multiple shots. Keep in mind, visibility goes from top downwards. So just say we do this, what will happen is that this will begin. So we'll see this one first, and then this one will begin, and then it'll go however we want it to go. So keep in mind we can do that if we want to. We can add other tracks here. Pretty much the sequencer editor is the same whether we're looking at a sequence of shots or just a single shot itself. So if I double click and have a look at the right here as well, this tells you where you are in the hierarchy of your shots. So if I double click on this first one, now you'll see shoot sequence 1 master shot 0010_1. So this is take 1. And you'll see at the top here we have a camera cut, and this is the camera. You'll see here we've got numbers up here. What do these numbers mean? That's a really good question. I'll come back and talk about that in just a second. We've got a camera. We've got our camera component, which includes all the stuff that we like here, and we've got things like spawn, transform, etc. So what I might do, I might just pause here again. I want to break these up so you can come back and look at them. And I'll go into a little bit more detail as far as the different things we've got here. Okay.